It is now my honor to introduce a very special award, arguably the association's most prestigious award, the Schlosser Distinguished Service Award. It's named for the former Short Line Association Chairman of the Board, Tom Schlosser, who was president of the Fort Worth and Western Railway. Tom passed away after a brave battle with cancer back in 2011. The award is now presented on an annual basis to recognize an individual for their long-term, significant, above and beyond service to the association itself. This year's winner, Gary Vaughn, is known to many of us, many of you. He spent a career in railroading, with his final stop being at Watco. Safety and Gary Vaughn were inextricably tied. He is a former Safety Professional of the Year winner. He spent countless hours in service to the industry as chair of our extraordinarily active Safety and Training Committee. Under his leadership, many resources were developed that continue to be used today, including all the templates for the for the Part 243 minimum training standards, as well as templates for conductor certification and electronic devices. In his work with the Safety and Training Committee, Gary mentored many short line railroad industry employees. He was always willing to answer compliance questions. There were a lot of those. Share training programs and ideas and discuss program development. Gary's desire to improve safety through overarching service to the Short Line Association has truly left the association and the industry in a better place. Please welcome Gary to the stage.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. As many times as I've spoken from a podium like this, I just never get used to it. And I hope for all of our sakes this is probably the final and last time. I was introduced to the Short Line Association back in the 1990s when I met the current association president, Frank Turner, the director of safety and operating practices, Matt Riley, and the executive director of meetings and member services, Kathy Cassidy. And most of you are going, who? Because yeah, I'm that old. I was quickly directed to become a committee member, so I joined the Safety and Training Committee and the Police and Security Committee. And I served the Safety and Training Committee as a member, as a vice chairman, as chairman for almost 20 years. The committee work is what I really want to talk about today. It's the men and women of that committee and all the other association committees that deserve the recognition, and not just me. The Safety and Training Committee was once made up of certain selected designated member railroad representatives and short line liaisons. But that was, after we finally got the bylaws changed, the committee membership is now hopefully still made up of any association member, any liaison, and any supplier, and who was willing, and here's the key, to work. And work they most certainly did. They built the templates that you member railroads use every day. Many of your policies, your operating practices, your safety rules, your plans for track inspection, training programs for engineer and conductor certification, roadway worker protection, PTC, risk reduction, all of these were built and finished by the Safety and Training Committee. But our suppliers were huge in this work. Suppliers like RailSoft, MaxXL, Fletcher & Sippel, TOMC, and many more not only worked beside our railroad members, but provided the venues for our committees to meet. Our suppliers were and still are indispensable to our industry. They sent their best and brightest to assist us to get these work done. And I want to thank those people like Janet Gilbert, Tom Howie, Pete Sutcliffe, Annie Richardson, Dr. Tim McCormick, Bill Weedmark, and so many others of our suppliers that just worked their butts off to get this done. And when I say worked, I'm not kidding. Our meetings usually ran a full 3 days, and we met at least quarterly. But during the dark days, I call, between 2012 and 2019, there was almost a 2-year period when I asked the members of those committees to work and meet every month. Imagine how much work that took. They met every month just to keep up with the proposed regulations that were just pouring out of DC. Every month we met in a different location, but never once did I hear a complaint from those heroes or from the companies that they worked for. It was brutal, but never once did I hear them complain. They got the work done, and today you all enjoy the benefits of those compliance documents that they created. Out of this side-by-side work, I found out it wasn't just the people that I work with that are competitors and their colleagues, but I ended up having close friends and brothers that I work with and call brothers to this day, at least 2 sons that I know of, and maybe more than a few daughters. I attended their children's births, their weddings, their birthdays, and in a few cases, funerals. They were in our family. I want to publicly thank the past and present members of the Safety and Training Committee. Thank you especially to people like Mitch Harris, J.R. Sampson, Preston Clater, Josh Banks, Ron Sparks, Teddy Maybrier, Mike Lundell, my son Mark, that's an inside joke, y'all, Tyrone James, Tom Leopold, Forrest Norby, for all the work that they've done for the industry that we love. And in all of that chaos, the representatives of the Shortline Association never once failed to attend our meetings. They never failed to work, and they never failed to guide us. People like J.R. Gellner, Tom Stryker, God rest his soul, Joe Strang, Keith Borman were always there for us. If you don't realize how important those people are to our industry, they all kept us on track and offered invaluable advice and worked shoulder to shoulder with us. I know I didn't say it enough then, but let me say thank you now for all that they do and have done for this industry. The foundation that made all this possible and still makes your current work possible is your employers. They also sent their best and brightest to the Safety and Training Committee. And whether you're a railroader or a supplier, if it wasn't for your employer footing the bill, you probably wouldn't be here. I know that was certainly the case for me. Without the support of people like Rick Webb and Craig Ritchie and my safety department staff from Watco, I wouldn't be speaking here today. So I want to stand here and publicly thank Rick and Craig and Watco for supporting me and allowing me to do what I thought was the right thing. Finally, the rock in which I've stood for over 42 years and on who I rely upon every day is my wife, Monica. Without her love and support, I would be an old telegrapher who wants to retire but just was afraid to, and I would never have joined the association. And thank you for everything, my love. Finally, to the association, to Watco and our suppliers and all the members, past and present, especially those of the committees that work so hard, and especially the Safety and Training Committee, thank you for allowing me to be part of this and part of the short line railroading at its best. Thank you for the wonderful award, too. Thank you very much.